Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining. I think today is the first week for week 7. So we have gone through past 6 weeks and how was the progress so far? What's the gain? And if anyone wants to present what they have done in last week's challenge, that's also possible. So to start today's stand up, maybe if you could show us an emojis, how uh, the energy level that you have, maybe that could be a good start. Are you excited? Are you bored or confused? Thank you, Daniel. Um, okay. Thank you for those who showed up your interest. And so let me start by asking, what did you manage to do last week's challenge and what did you gain? Or something new? Or can you present your work if possible? Okay, Daniel. Thank you.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the opportunity.
Mm,
I cannot present right now because actually I'm on my phone,
mm,
but I have several things to talk about the last week challenge.
mm,
And the project was actually really amazing because I always want to build RAG application program,
mhm,
and I encountered so many challenges
mhm,
on task 2, especially the embedding part, because
mhm,
it took a lot of my time. And I tried to come up with a solution. The first one is that I try to embed the first 50,000 rows.
mhm,
I know it's not going to be reliable, but it gives me an opportunity to work on tasks 3 and 4.
mhm,
So I don't have to wait for all the rows to be embedded. And I use that method and it works well. And uh, I've been tricked twice, I can say that. The first one is that I tried to scan duplicates on the dataset, and
mhm,
I thought it's only be duplicated by compliant ID, but
mhm,
it is not, because uh, um, datas can have the different compliant ID, but the same narratives,
mhm,
which when people talk about duplicates in Slack,
mhm,
what are you guys talking about? There is no duplicate. But I found out that there are so many duplicates there. And
mhm,
firstly, the data set was really big, as
mhm.
far as I know. Yeah, and it's 5 GB. And
Yes.
my motion is, I know it's gonna be funny, but I work on 4 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM PC. And when I try to load it in Panda, it's
Mhm,
automatically gonna restart. It's because it cannot handle that.
mhm,
The one thing that I know about Pandas is when you try to load it
mhm,
or read CSV, it's gonna be like triple the size of the data set, which means
mhm,
it's gonna be like 12 or 15 gigabytes,
mhm.
which my machine is not gonna able to load it. So I try to go to the collab and I try to chunk it. I try
Okay.
to chunk it like 100,000 at a time, and I've been fooled once. It's because I'm not using the full power of Google Colab, because I try to use it using a CPU,
Mhm,
but it takes a lot of my time because of that. And when I change it to GPU T4,
mhm,
it's get its speed.
mhm.
And yeah, so far so good. It's been a great project. I enjoy it, and I'm excited for the coming challenge. This is all I
Okay.
can talk.
Thank you for the detailed update. But one thing, maybe if I ask, did you do uh,
Yeah,
the final app?
yeah, the using radio, yes, yes, I did.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, but it's for the first 50,000 rows. It's still embedding it, so I don't have to wait for the whole thing.
Yeah, I love the way you became strategic on these things, but as the data is big, just the challenge also insists to filter some of the categories. So basically, that can minimize the number of rows that you have from the data. That could help as well, but your strategy was nice.
Yeah, okay, thank you. But though it's like 470,000 rows after I cleaned and filtered it. So I only focus only for like six columns because others are not important for this project. So I just get rid of the other columns and I only focus on like six columns. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, nice.
thank
Uh, Anyone else? I would love to see apps that can interact, or I want to ask a question and an app that returns the complaints. If you have some, please present those apps that you have developed.
Is the question for me?
Not for you, no, just for everyone. You have updated. Thank you for the update. Anyone who are in position to present their progress or what they have done, what they have achieved. Okay, Sumaya.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Am I doing right?
Yes.
Okay, this week was one of the interesting weeks, I think, from all, because ROG is some kind of interesting, mostly after like chunking. When you see the result, it's more interesting than you don't understand the process full until you finished it and you see the result. And the result was amazing. Uh, for me too, like I have a high problem in like loading the data because my PC is 8 GB RAM. I don't know how he do it with 4 GB RAM. I was amazed. For me too, loading was one of the hardest thing I face. I use Google Colab as it says for the loading approximately 10 million rows. You, and I see that crediting or other personal consumer make up like 4.8 million. So we don't need. So at the end of the day, when I get like around 400,000 rows, mostly checking or saving accounts like takes like what the 140,000. And then I go to the thing embedding and indexing using the base code. I go back to the base code and I do the which is like cutting uh, the rows, embedding, changing them to number. I check which overlap is better, which checking in which overlap is better, and I say that for me, 200 with 50, 300 with 50, 300 chunk size with 50 overlap was kind of better for the data set. And I try to use that for embedding, but as my PC can't handle it, even if I try to use Google Colab, GPU, like nothing works for me. So what I do was I use the 50,000 rows and I run at the back. I use the back processing until I finished all. But even at that, like it goes to like 3 hours or plus kind of thing, and it just stopped. And I don't know what to do, so I just continue with the 50,000 rows, and I got some interesting results. There are questions that answered well with my route, and there are questions mostly when I ask like the general questions. The route was not that much uh, active. I mean, accurate in the evaluation rate. For the questions like why are customers unhappy with BNPL, it gave me a good result, like the system accuracy, pool chunks, detailed and clear repayment terms. But for general questions like why do user complain about saving account, it didn't give me that much best results, and that was what I see in the process. And if we use like um, more different models and more like data set, I think it's one of the best results for big companies.
Okay. Thank you, Sumaya, for the detailed update. But can we see something from your chatbot?
Yeah, but I need to run it until that.
Okay. Sure.
I'll get back when I run
Okay.
next.
Okay. Anyone else who wants to update us? Anaja, I was busy to some other office projects, so accidentally now I'm working on the final. So we hope you will finish today, and we will love to see your submission, Anaja. Okay, Filmon, go ahead.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, as everyone said, this week's project was interesting, and it gives us insights. And it's a real project that we can show for our portfolio, also for us.
Mm.
So I managed to finish the submit yesterday.
Okay.
I can't show you right now, but I had a screenshot.
Okay, better if we
If
see or we can interact with your chatbot as well, if you have
yeah,
it.
I will try to screen share later if I can. For now, I just have done all the tasks, and it was interesting. And also, it needs a lot of competition processing power. This week's project. Uh, I use a Google Flan T5 model for it gave me a good response, but
Mhm.
I think it could be better if I used the 7B models, but my PC couldn't handle that. I didn't use API. I downloaded all the models and tried to load it from locally.
So
So
your application becomes heavy then.
yeah, so I just tried the base, the I think the 250 million the T5 model. For future, I would try uh, after we finish this class, I would try to run it with better computational power with the 7B, and I'll see the response. For now, it gave me a solid answer. It's okay, not that bad. It will answer the questions that I gave it. I prepared like 20 questions,
Mhm.
and it gave me a solid answer.
Okay. I think your approach is interesting because for some companies who doesn't want to interact with external API plus they don't have to expose their data to the public, that could be the actual solution. So having that the model in house and fine tuning training it will make it more usable for other scenarios as well, including banks in Ethiopia. So that's one approach, but the hardest approach.
Yeah. So that was it. It was an amazing project.
Okay, nice. Nice to hear that. Anyone else who wants to update what they have done? Okay, Minte.
I'm audible, right? Okay. This week The project was, as you said, everyone said, it was interesting. The challenges that I faced was, as everyone else, I was challenged by the storage on my PC. Lastly, when I tried to select the model, the MI model or the large language model, I tried to take the large ones, like the large ones means almost 2.5 or more than a gigabyte models, but I couldn't handle because of my PC. Then I tried to use smaller models, but it works better. But it also some consequences because now when the large language models will give you the best responses when the clients ask, uh, but uh, this is also could possible for uh, that much have no difference with that one. But when we see in detail, like when the questions are complicated, for example, if the asker asked some questions like complicated questions, the models respond poorly. So the challenge I faced this one. The other thing is going well. Uh, right now I can't share you because I'm not. Suddenly I just deleted the local stream tab because it took almost 10 GB, more than 10 GB, and I couldn't handle that. So this is all.
Okay, thank you for the updates. I think this kind of the Wednesday stand up is much more of seeing your work and celebrating your achievements. So if you can, please try to present what you have done just for everyone. So is there anyone who wants to present or who wants to share the update what they have done? Okay, Daniel.
I think for me, it's there must be exception because, as I told you, my machine is like 4 GB RAM. Imagine that sharing the screen, running the application, and it's gonna be really hard for me to do that. So if you consider it, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I can understand there are so many issues, but better to show up. If we can count challenge, we have a lot of challenge not to do something, not to present, not to tell, not to update because you are eating lunch, because you are doing something, because you can have so many reasons. But this is not for you. Just you have to tell me that you cannot present right now, so that's fine for me. But for others, if they get the chance, please try to present what they have done. This is a place where they can be shout out about their work. So we will encourage to do so. In our culture, talking too much is not something that we can be comfortable. So we want to get rid of this thing as well because we are not prepared for only for Ethiopian job market. We are prepared for the global job market. So that's why you need to talk. That's why you need to present. Having this and that issue might not be the excuse that you are asking when you became on the actual work environment. Because since this is an internship opportunity for you, better to present whatever you have. Okay, Filmon, anything else? Or you want to present or what's next?
Let me share my screen. I'm on my mobile, but okay.
Okay, your screen is
You can see
coming.
my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I took a screenshot for my report. Can you see my screen? Hello?
No, actually, yes, I can see your screen.
Oh, shit. Okay, he left, I think.
Sorry, my connection is back now. Hello.
Hello, yes.
Okay, this is the
So this is my chatbot. Not
okay.
the UI is not that good, but I try to manage to do as much as I can with a little time I have.
Okay, that's nice.
So I gave it like how often do customers mention fraud? It gives me a short answer, but at least it answers for this model. I wouldn't expect that big much of an answer.
Okay, did you retrieve the relevant chunk of compliance?
I'm sorry.
Did you retrieve relevant chunk of compliance? Like
Yes, yeah.
nice.
So another thing that I would, as a learning point, I've already tried the API, and when I tried the API and tried to fetch from Hugging Face, I got a token, and I used it on the dot environment and pushed it to git ignore. So ያ ሁሉ ነገር ማድረጌ I think I was experimenting much on the notebooks and the project. When I do that, I think I have put the token inside the code and committed it. And finally, when I tried to submit, a GitHub rule blocked me, and I had to redo everything and add a new branch, and I submitted the new branch on the final report. So maybe for you guys, next time be careful with that. Even if it doesn't show up on the final notebook or on the final code you have, it will see the commit histories, and if it has a token, it will block you.
Okay, that's a good insight.
Yeah.
Okay, any other update, or we are running out of time, so we need to stop here. Sumaya, do you have it? Or let's wrap up it here, and we can proceed to this week's challenge after 30 minutes.
I'm trying, but my Streamlit's not opening. So I think it takes a lot of time.
No problem. That's fine. So thank you everyone for joining. Better next time for those who
It
are
opens
at least
like the font time.
Sorry.
It opens the first the interactive page. If
Okay, sure. Let's
that's
see.
it, you can. Can you see
Yes, it's coming.
the front page? Yeah. This is the chatbot that I do. This is how I ask questions. Let's say, like, for example, let's say like any problem. And if I have like this kind of question, I ask, it just process and give me the answer in the two chunks, and then it give me the places to put my ratings and also my comments, and it will save it. That's how it works. And it continues the chatbots like that. It didn't like just retrieve to bug. at first it was returning, I modularized it. I fixed it, and now it continues like it chatting, and it saved it at CSV in my document. That's how the chatbot
introduction.
works. Yeah, the introduction. It saves the questions, the answers, the chunks, my review, and my comments in the CSV back,
That's nice.
so that anyone can see. It takes time, that's why I just like this is the front page.
No problem. We can wait. We can see. We can celebrate.
Yeah, it comes. This is all the questions, and this is the answer. I got card to have because of problem because I used like the on only the 50,000 rows. The answer is not like good, but it just retrieve. And I also lightweighted model. So this is the chunk one it's using. This is the chunk two. I can evaluate the answer from 1 to 5, and I can comment. For example, let's say I have like 3, and I comment good. Then when I say save evaluation, it's saved to the CSV, and it continues like that.
Nice.
It works.
Okay. Thank you.
I know it's taking
Thank
a
you.
lot of time.
Everybody is clapping for you. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
So thank you everyone for joining. Let's wrap up it here unless any burning issue. We can stop it here and can start after 25 minutes. Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining. See you.